1. Imagine boarding a late-night subway thinking it's just another ride home. But what if I told you that one glance from a stranger could change your life forever? This isn't just another horror story. It's a chilling real-life encounter. Discover how Maria's quick thinking saved her from a notorious fugitive. Stay tuned, because what happened next will make you rethink your nightly commute. Prepare to be on the edge of your seat and question everything you thought you knew about public transportation safety. You won't believe how close she came to disaster. Don't miss it. It was a night like any other for Maria, a young professional working long hours to make ends meet. The clock had just struck 11 p.m. as she boarded the subway, hoping for a quiet ride home. The car was nearly empty, an eerie silence filling the space. Seeking solace, she chose a seat far from the few passengers scattered around. As the subway car rattled along the tracks, Maria felt a strange sensation prickling the back of her neck. Glancing up, she noticed a man sitting a few rows away, his gaze fixed intently on her. Trying to brush off her discomfort, she buried herself in her phone, but the feeling of his eyes burning into her wouldn't fade. Each station came and went, the car becoming emptier, amplifying her unease. Finally, the subway reached a stop where every passenger disembarked, leaving Maria alone with the unsettling stranger. Her anxiety spiked as he stood up and began to walk slowly towards her. Her mind raced through possible escape plans. Should she run? Scream? She decided on a calculated move, switching cars at the next stop. When the subway halted, Maria bolted for the adjacent car, her heart pounding. Relief washed over her when she saw that the man hadn't followed. She sank into a seat, trying to calm her racing heart. But as she caught her breath, she glanced at the window's reflection and saw him standing at the door between the cars, a sinister smile curling his lips. Panic surged through her veins. She fumbled for her phone and dialed the police, her voice trembling as she described the man and her situation. The dispatcher instructed her to stay put and wait for the authorities at the next station. The minutes stretched on like hours, the man's presence a constant, terrifying reminder of her vulnerability. At long last, the subway screeched to a halt, and 2 police officers boarded, their presence a beacon of hope. They approached the man and, after a brief confrontation, detained him. Maria watched in a mixture of relief and shock as he was escorted away. In the aftermath, Maria learned the chilling truth. The man was a fugitive wanted for multiple heinous crimes. That night, she had narrowly escaped becoming his next victim. The ordeal left a deep mark on her, a stark reminder of the dangers lurking in the shadows of everyday life. Since then, she has avoided traveling alone at night, always vigilant and urging her loved ones to do the same. This harrowing story underscores a crucial lesson: the importance of staying alert and taking safety precautions when using public transportation, especially after dark. It serves as a powerful reminder that sometimes your intuition and quick actions can be the difference between life and death. So, next time you find yourself alone on a late-night subway, remember Maria's story. Stay vigilant, trust your instincts, and never hesitate to seek help if you feel unsafe. Your life could depend on it. 2. Picture this. You're on a late-night bus, almost dozing off, when a creepy stranger starts moving closer and closer to you. What would you do? This isn't fiction. It's a real nightmare that João lived through. Discover how his quick thinking saved him from a potential attack by a wanted criminal. Stay tuned, because this story will make you question everything you thought you knew about late-night commutes. Don't miss the shocking twist that could change the way you see public transportation forever. Watch till the end to find out how close João came to disaster. John, a hardworking man, was on his way home after a grueling day. The clock struck midnight as he boarded the bus, almost dozing off in the quiet of the back seats. Suddenly, at the next stop, a disheveled and sinister-looking man stepped onto the bus. His clothes were torn and filthy, his eyes wide and unblinking, fixed on something or someone only he could see. At first, the man sat a few rows ahead, but soon began moving seat by seat, edging closer to John with each stop. Unease morphed into palpable fear as the stranger's proximity increased. John's heart pounded in his chest. He decided to move closer to the driver, hoping for some semblance of safety. But safety was an illusion. The man continued his relentless approach, now locking eyes with John, a gaze filled with malevolent intent. Panic surged through Jua's veins. Something was terribly, horrifyingly wrong. Desperation led John to plead with the driver to stop the bus. As soon as the doors opened, he bolted into the night without a second glance, flagging down a taxi to take him home. The entire ride, he trembled, his mind replaying the harrowing encounter. Days later, John's worst fears were confirmed. News broke of a man matching the sinister stranger's description, arrested for assaulting bus passengers on that very route. The realization struck Johns like a thunderbolt. He had narrowly escaped becoming the next victim. This terrifying ordeal serves as a stark reminder of the hidden dangers in our everyday lives. Next time you find yourself alone on public transportation late at night, remember John's story. Stay alert, trust your instincts, and never hesitate to seek help. Your quick thinking could be the key to avoiding disaster. So, are you ready to rethink your nightly commute? This story isn't just about fear. It's about survival and the importance of vigilance. Don't miss out on this gripping tale that will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about safety on public transport. 3. Imagine taking your usual metro ride home, only to encounter a ghostly figure that leaves you questioning reality. What if I told you this isn't a mere ghost story, but a true event that shook Anna to her core? Discover how a late-night ride turned into a spine-tingling nightmare. Stay tuned, because this tale of a phantom passenger will make you rethink your own commutes. Prepare to be captivated by the chilling details and eerie twists that will keep you on edge till the very end. Anna, a diligent worker, took the same metro train every night, recognizing the weary faces of fellow passengers. Her routine was predictable, almost comforting in its monotony. She would finish her shift, head to the metro station, and board the train that would take her home. The familiar faces of other late-night travelers provided a sense of community, each person wrapped in their own world of exhaustion. But one fateful evening, something disrupted this routine. As Anna boarded the train and found her usual seat, her eyes were drawn to someone new, a woman she had never seen before. This woman was dressed in antiquated clothes, garments that seemed plucked from a bygone era. Her attire was strikingly out of place amid the modern, bustling city, and this incongruity immediately captured Anna's attention. The woman's appearance was like a puzzle piece that didn't fit, sparking a curiosity in Anna that she couldn't easily dismiss. The woman sat alone in a corner of the metro car, her posture rigid and her gaze unfocused. There was something unsettling about her presence, something that went beyond her odd choice of clothing. The woman's vacant, lost expression intrigued Anna, who found herself unable to look away. It was as if the woman was disconnected from the reality around her, trapped in a world of her own. Anna tried to rationalize her curiosity, telling herself that the woman might be an actress or someone returning from a themed event. Yet, there was an air of melancholy and detachment about her that suggested something deeper, something more haunting. As the train rattled on, Anna noticed that despite the jolts and stops, the woman never moved. She didn't fidget, didn't shift her gaze, didn't even seem to blink. This unnatural stillness made Anna increasingly uneasy. Anna's unease grew with each passing station. Usually, the metro's frequent stops would see passengers coming and going, a constant ebb and flow that added to the sense of routine. But tonight felt different. Each time the train stopped and the doors hissed open, Anna would glance at the woman, expecting her to alight. Yet, she remained seated, unmoving. Anna began to feel trapped in a surreal nightmare. Her curiosity now mingled with a creeping sense of fear. The metro entered a tunnel, and as the lights flickered, Anna's unease peaked. For a brief moment, the woman's form seemed to blur, her edges becoming indistinct. Anna blinked, thinking her eyes were playing tricks on her. But when she looked again, the woman seemed almost translucent, as if she were fading in and out of reality. Panic gripped Anna's heart. She looked around, hoping to catch someone else's eye, to share her sense of alarm, but everyone else seemed oblivious. When the train finally reached her station, Anna hurriedly exited, throwing a last glance over her shoulder only to see the once occupied seat now empty. This haunting encounter left her shaken, and she couldn't shake off the feeling that she had brushed against something otherworldly. Despite the metro's frequent stops, the woman remained eerily still, not even moving to blink. Each time the train paused and the doors slid open with a mechanical hiss, Anna expected the woman to leave, but she remained fixed in her seat, a statue amidst the bustle. This unnatural stillness started to gnaw at Anna, transforming her initial curiosity into a deep-seated unease. The longer Anna observed, the more unsettling the scene became. There was something fundamentally wrong about the woman's immobility. It was as if she was detached from the world around her, an unblinking figure in a constantly shifting environment. Anna's logical mind tried to dismiss her growing apprehension. Perhaps the woman was just extremely tired or lost in thought, but a part of her couldn't shake off the feeling that there was something profoundly abnormal about her presence. As the train plunged into a dark tunnel, the usual overhead lights began to flicker, casting the car in an erratic dance of light and shadow. Anna's discomfort escalated with each flicker, the intermittent darkness amplifying her anxiety. In one particularly long blink of darkness, Anna's eyes were glued to the woman. When the light returned, she caught a glimpse that sent an icy chill down her spine. The woman's form seemed to shimmer and fade, becoming almost translucent, as if she were not entirely there. Anna blinked rapidly, trying to clear her vision, convinced that her eyes were playing tricks on her due to the poor lighting. But as the lights continued to flicker, the woman's ghostly appearance persisted. It was like watching a poorly tuned hologram, her edges blurry and her body flickering in and out of existence. The sight was terrifying and surreal, causing Anna's pulse to quicken and her palms to sweat. She felt a rising panic, her instincts screaming that something was terribly wrong. She looked around the carriage, desperate for confirmation from another passenger, but everyone else seemed oblivious, engrossed in their own worlds. This isolation made the experience even more harrowing. When the train finally emerged from the tunnel and the lights stabilized, Anna hoped that the woman would solidify back into normalcy, but the ghostly image lingered in her mind, refusing to be rationalized away. With her stop approaching, Anna made a split-second decision to exit the train, driven by a primal urge to escape. As she hurriedly disembarked, she glanced back to where the woman had been sitting, only to find the seat empty. The inexplicable encounter left Anna deeply shaken, her thoughts haunted by the unsettling vision. From that night on, the once mundane metro ride became a journey fraught with dread, and she couldn't shake the feeling that she had come perilously close to the supernatural. Panic set in as Anna scanned the car, her eyes darting from passenger to passenger, hoping to find someone who shared her sense of alarm. But to her dismay, everyone else seemed completely oblivious to the eerie presence that had so thoroughly unsettled her. Some were engrossed in their phones, others dozed off, and a few stared blankly out the windows, lost in their own thoughts. The stark normality of their behaviors contrasted sharply with the growing terror in Anna's heart, making her feel even more isolated in her experience. It was as if she had stepped into a different reality, one where she alone could perceive the haunting figure in the antiquated dress. As the train rattled on, Anna's sense of urgency heightened. She clutched her bag tighter, her knuckles white, as she forced herself to keep a steady gaze on the woman. Despite the flickering lights and the jerking movements of the train, the woman remained unervingly still, her ghostly form seeming more pronounced with each passing second. Anna's mind raced with 1,000 thoughts. Was she seeing things? Was this some kind of prank? Or worse, had she encountered something truly supernatural? The logical part of her brain struggled to make sense of it, but her instincts screamed that she needed to get away. The air felt heavy, almost suffocating, as if the presence of the woman was drawing the life out of the carriage. Finally, the train began to slow as it approached Anna's station. Her heart pounded in her chest, a drumbeat of fear and anticipation. She stood up, her legs trembling, and made her way to the door, trying to appear calm despite the whirlwind of emotions inside her. As the train came to a halt and the doors slid open, Anna stepped out quickly, her breath coming in short, sharp bursts. She couldn't resist one last glance over her shoulder, driven by a mix of dread and curiosity. The sight that met her eyes was both a relief and a further puzzle. The seat where the woman had been sitting was now empty. It was as if she had never been there at all. Anna hurried up the stairs and into the safety of the night, her mind reeling from the experience. She shared her story with friends and family, many of whom dismissed it as a trick of the light or an overactive imagination. But Anna knew what she had seen, and the memory of that ghostly figure stayed with her, a constant reminder of the thin veil between the ordinary and the extraordinary. From that night on, Anna avoided the metro after dark, unwilling to risk another encounter with the unknown. Meet Sarah. Like many of us, she used to dread bedtime, hours spent tossing and turning, waking up groggy and irritable, and worst of all, her relentless snoring that not only disturbed her sleep, but her partner's as well. Desperate for a solution, Sarah tried everything. New mattresses, white noise machines, even sleeping pills. Nothing worked until she discovered our breathing for sleep routine. One particularly frustrating night, Sarah stumbled upon an article about the power of breathing to improve sleep. Skeptical but willing to try anything, she read about our breathing for sleep routine, a simple, scientifically backed method designed to clear sinuses, enhance breathing, and eliminate oxygen blockades. It promised to guide users through a simple breathing routine for the best sleep of their lives. Intrigued, she decided to give it a shot. As she began the routine, Sarah immediately felt her sinuses clear. She followed the step-by-step guide, learning how to breathe deeply and correctly. Within minutes, she noticed a significant difference. Her breathing was smoother, more relaxed. That night, she fell asleep faster than she had in years and, incredibly, stayed asleep all night. One of the most astonishing benefits was the end of her snoring. The routine included a simple breathing hack that stopped her snoring in minutes. Sarah learned that her habit of mouth breathing was activating her survival mode, preventing her from achieving truly restful sleep. By switching to nasal breathing, she deactivated this mode and allowed her body to fully relax. The next morning, Sarah woke up feeling refreshed and rejuvenated. She couldn't remember the last time she felt so well rested. Her partner noticed the difference too. No more middle-of-the-night disruptions from her snoring. The transformation was remarkable, and Sarah knew she had found something special. Sarah's story is not unique. Many others have discovered the life-changing benefits of our breathing for sleep routine. Imagine falling asleep quickly, sleeping soundly through the night, and waking up feeling fully rested. No more snoring, no more grogginess, just deep, restorative sleep. Are you ready to transform your sleep like Sarah did? Our breathing for sleep routine is easy to follow and starts working immediately. Clear your sinuses, enhance your breathing, and remove oxygen blockades with our guided routine. Say goodbye to snoring and hello to the best sleep of your life. Don't spend another night tossing and turning. Experience the power of proper breathing and reclaim your nights. Try our breathing for sleep routine tonight and wake up to a new, refreshed you. Because everyone deserves the gift of deep, restful sleep. Check out the link for this wonder in the description and the comments. Thank you for joining us on this harrowing journey. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tales of terror. Until next time, stay safe and beware the shadows.